Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Very good.
Good morning. Well, I am in West Palm Beach at the airport now. I've made it through Fort Lauderdale, a couple of days in Fort Lauderdale, then caught a little train from there to West Palm Beach, and I'm about to get on a Bahamas Air flight and fly from West Palm Beach over to a place called Marsh Harbor. It's in the Abacos, a part of the Bahamas. So that's the trip we're going to do over the next 7 days. We're going to fly into Abacos, Marsh Harbor, get on a 50-foot, I think, catamaran, and sail around the Abacos over the next week. So not a lot of sea doing involved over the next little while, but there will be a lot of stuff out on the water. So I want to invite you to come along with me. We won't be on the sea-doo, but we will be on the water. So let's explore the Abacos around the area of the Bahamas. Hello. Well, a quick 45-minute flight at 15,000 feet. And we have made our way from West Palm Beach, Florida. We're now in Marsh Harbor in the Abacos. Here we're going to have to clear customs to enter the Bahamas, get our luggage, and then we'll make our way over to the Trade Winds base to find our 55-foot or 50-foot, I can't remember, lagoon sailing vessel. Well, that's nice. They actually had somebody here to meet us. They had our names on a placard just as we came through customs. So Trade Winds knows we're here. They've arranged for transportation to get us over to the boat, which is kind of nice. It's not always the case in all places when you arrive with Trade Winds, but here, I guess it is the case today. This airport's recently been renamed. It's now called the Leonard M. Thompson International Airport. It used to just be called Marsh Harbor before, but it's got a new name now. The last time I was here in the Abacos, when I tried to leave here the last time, it was a real nightmare. I was here at 7 o'clock in the morning to catch a flight over to Nassau. That's how I got here last time, was through Nassau, not through West Palm Beach. The flight never showed up till 5:30 in the afternoon, Bahamas Air, which meant I missed my WestJet flights out of Nassau back to Toronto, and I had to go out and buy new tickets for the next day for an Air Canada flight. It cost well over $1,000, probably $1,400. Bahamas Air honored none of it. They said, we eventually got you back to Nassau, even though it was like 7-8 hours later than they were supposed to. They had a mechanical problem with one of their planes, and 8 hours later we finally got out of this airport. They lied to us all day long about what was going on, and the plane never did show up. And then, of course, we missed our connecting flights and had to buy new tickets to get home. Thank God for travel insurance. Oh, right here. Okay.
Hello.
Thanks a lot.
Hello. How you doing? How are you guys?
We're doing okay.
Welcome, welcome. Love the headband.
Trade Winds, welcome.
Yeah.
New base. Last time I was here, the base was on the boat.
Yes.
Things have looked up.
Oh, it counts.
Are you guys on the lagoon?
Yes.
Okay, so we're probably going to be with you.
We're going to be with you.
Yes.
Lois.
Lois.
Yes.
Fantastic to meet you, and I do love your flower. It looks beautiful. I've got some matching ones on the boat. It look great.
Right.
Well,
Sweet, you're rocking it.
fantastic. Well, without further ado, people, would we like to make our way down to the boat?
Let's do it.
Get the show on the road. Fantastic.
All right, so we've just met Captain Luke, and he's going to be our captain over the next 7 days. First mate, I guess, is on the boat, and we'll meet her in just a minute or two.
Unfortunately, it's a him this week.
Apparently, it's not a her, it's a him, and we're going to meet him in just a couple of minutes. Back in the earlier days, Trade Winds used to run a couple of bases out of the Bahamas. They had a base in the Exumas, and then the base here in the Abacos, but a couple of years ago they shut down the Exumas base, and now they just run their base out of the Abacos. They're running 3 boats out of here, the Lagoon, which is about a 52-foot boat. That's the one we're on. Apparently there's one empty cabin on that. Somebody canceled last minute. We haven't quite got that story yet. And then there's 2 what they call luxury boats, which are the ones we're normally on. Those are 59 or 60-foot Beneteaus, or not Beneteaus, Fontaine Peugeot. Trade Winds tradition, no shoes on the boat. So before you get on the boat, shoes are off, and then you board. I'm gonna watch and see how this goes with Carol first before I go.
Right. Get a good grip.
There we go.
Lovely.
Okay, get rid of my shoes.
punch. It is a mix of pineapple, orange, and mango juice with white rum, spiced rum, and then a little bit of grenadine that sits down at the bottom.
So we are going to have even more room than I thought on board this lagoon, because as I said earlier, there's one couple who couldn't make it. I asked the question, and apparently what happened is she broke her hip. The other person who was supposed to be here, so they had to cancel out last minute, so that happens occasionally. So in all the trips I've made, I think 15, 16 trips now with Tradewinds, this is the first time that there's been an open cabin on board, at least for me. I mean, it happens, but usually it's in places like French Polynesia or Tonga. But here in the Abacos, not too often, but these types of things do happen occasionally, and we're going to have one extra room. I guess one of the crew members will stay in that room, so it's just going to make it a little bit more comfortable on board the boat, a little more room to move around.
Beautiful, have a good one.
Have a great time, guys!
Guys, the party starts now for you. See you guys out there. So Tradewind's tradition is generally you pull the boat off the dock at around 5 o'clock. And you don't go very far that first night. You usually head a kilometer or two, or maybe even less, just out into the bay, get off the dock, drop anchor, and then watch the sunset. And since we're getting out right at 5 o'clock, we're going to be in plenty of time for a beautiful sunset tonight out to the west. Okay, so we're going to go have a look at the cabin now. And there's a little introduction to the cabin, and they'll show us around how things work down there. We've seen a lot of this, of course, before, but this is a new boat to us.
So what have we got, you guys? It's what we call starboard board.
Okay.
It is that the barge is set on the back.
Oh my goodness, how special is that?
It is, since you have
Okay.
lovely. Welcome to the living quarters for the next week, guys.
Yes, very nice.
Fantastic. Now this is where you're going to find your life jackets.
Okay.
I always say if you see the crew wearing the life jackets, probably a good idea to put one on, huh?
Well, good morning. It's the first morning aboard our 52-foot lagoon called Life. We didn't go very far last night, just basically sailed outside of the channel, anchored for the night, had dinner last night around 7 o'clock, and it's about 7:20, 7:30 in the morning. So breakfast on these boats is about 8 o'clock in the morning, so half an hour or so from now we'll have breakfast. Then the captain will pull out some maps and charts, show us what the plan is for the week and also what the plan is for today. So it's a little overcast today. We're expecting some weather on this trip over the next couple of days. We're expecting a big system from the Gulf to blow in over top of Florida, bring some heavy rain tomorrow, I think. So today could be the last day without a lot of rain. Anyway, just settling into the boat. Didn't sleep all that well last night, so I got my first cup of coffee going this morning already. We're sleeping up beside the generator. We're on the starboard side in the bow, and there's a generator up there that runs the air conditioning all night long, so it's a bit noisy. You will get used to it, but took a little bit getting used to it last night. So looking forward to breakfast coming up in about a half an hour from now.
Breakfast this morning is very simple and very homely as well. So we got some yogurts, we got some spuds, also known as potatoes, some boiled eggs, some nice toast, and some saucies, your cereal, your juices, jams as well. Dig in and enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to be cutting across from Fanny Bay past Man O' War here. So what we're going to be doing, everything is very weather dependent, right? All the spots, they are subject to change. What I would like to go to is into Fowl Key Marine Park over here. So
So you can see your sails.
Yes, sir. What Max is doing up there is Max gives me the direction of the chain and where the anchor sits, so I can position the boat to pull it up nice and smoothly.
So we're sitting with about 25 knots of wind, and Luke, our captain, has just decided he's going to put the sails up. We're headed into the wind. Sails just gone up. Okay, the anchor's up, and we are sailing in the Abacos.
Fur coats and everything, and everybody's saying, we want to do it outside again.
So because we've got so much wind, 25 knots, we've also put the jib out today. The jib is now up, and the main sheet up right behind. You can see here on this catamaran, we've got the lift platform in the back for the dinghy. It's just a hydraulic lift that drops down into the water. You put the dinghy on top into a little cradle, and then hydraulically you just lift the dinghy right up out of the water.
We've got a nice little Greek salad, and then I've put some butternuts on the braai. You guys call it a barbecue. It's a South African style kind of thing. And then some nice South African chicken. It's not spicy, and we'll get some prawns.
So I just noticed that the other boat that was traveling with us on this trip is a 60-foot luxury Fontaine Peugeot boat, and it was gone this morning. So asked the captain what happened, and apparently they've gone back to the dock. The people who were on that boat, that was a full family charter on the boat. They live in Sarasota, Florida. They've flown back. They've canceled their whole vacation, at least a couple of them off that boat have, and flown back to their property at home in Sarasota because there's a big storm brewing out in the Gulf of Mexico. And they, of course, were just hit last week with Hurricane Helene that came through, and now there's another one brewing in the Gulf of Mexico. That is apparently coming right towards Sarasota, the Tampa area, and they wanted to get home and kind of do some work around their house, board it up, do some preparation work before that big storm hits. We're expecting that to hit in our area over the coast of Florida and out here into the Bahamas by tomorrow. We're expecting a 100% chance of rain and quite a bit of rain tomorrow. So we'll see tomorrow what happens. But yeah, they left that charter that they were on, and they'd only been out a day, and flew back home just to kind of get ready for that storm, which is coming their way and coming our way as well. So we're going to get everybody assembled here and get them into the dinghy. We're all going ashore to Grand Guana and have a little look around the beach. But I think just before we do that, what we're going to do is every day at 5 o'clock, there's Captain's Cocktails. They make up a, you know, one of those Caribbean kind of drinks of some sort. And it changes every day. I don't know what it is today. He's mixing them now. So we're going to have a Captain's Cocktail first. Then we're going to all load in the dinghy and head ashore into Grand Guana. What do we got here, Cap?
These are the world famous painkillers.
Oh.
Yes, they are. Carol, this one over here is for you. That's a non-alcoholic over there. Marsha, would you like to take one there? So I'm sure you guys have heard the recipe before and how the painkiller works. But what it is it's fresh nutmeg, a little bit of, I use coconut rum, white rum, pineapple juice, and then some orange juice just to take it off the top. And then a nice grated nutmeg to give it that good tropical taste.
I thought you could only drink these in the BBI.
Not when I'm around.
It's Caribbean. Okay, I'll grab one. Thank you.
Oh, delicious.
Yours. I want to try it.
Sure.
Annapolis.
Captain's Cocktails.
Well, cheers everybody to a great first day. Great to stick it out and
Thank you.
started off well.
Well
Happy
executed.
days, everybody.
Cheers. Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Swing by the 60. Yeah, we can take a couple of
They got a bunch of munchkins running around.
I'd say this party is well underway here. People have been here for a while. The drinking's been underway for quite some time. Now they've got newcomers. Fresh blood. You got the moves, man. Woo! All we need is a reggae beat, just a reggae beat.
Oh, getting there, lads.
So another little change in plans, as is conducive to this trip. What we've had happen now is we went to get air at a dive shop, and because of the weather conditions, the moisture in the air, not enough heat, there's too much moisture in the air, so they can't fill the tanks, because the danger is that the moisture and the humidity in the air will get into the tank and then of course into your breathing regulator, and that's not a good thing. So they can't fill the tanks right now until it heats up a little more with daytime heating, if that's even going to happen today. So the dive for today is likely off. It might happen later today, but it's not looking really good, because we've now left the dive shop and we're out at a little place called Scotland Key. This is kind of a nursery for some small sharks, for some rays and things like that, kind of back in that area there. So we're gonna put the dinghy in the water, put the paddle boards, the kayak in the water, and just spend a couple of hours in this area snorkeling around or paddle boarding around in this area until lunchtime, a couple hours from now. Here is just super fine. Everywhere you walk, you just sink about 5 inches down into the sand. So we've just had lunch on board the boat, and as we've had lunch, you can see here the wind is really now starting to pick up a little bit. The wave action's picked up quite a bit. A lot of white caps out there now. We have brought air tanks back to the boat now, dive tanks. They're filled with air. We did get air, but we're not going to be able to dive today. It's just getting too rough. That storm that was in the Gulf, the tropical storm, is now passing over top of us, and there's another class 3, possibly a class 4 hurricane in the Gulf now that's moving towards Orlando. The airport we just saw online has been shut down in Orlando as of Wednesday. Today is Monday, so that's going to hit us as well, maybe a bit to the north of us, but starting to pick up on it. Well, with the winds picking up on the open ocean, we decided to get into a little bit more of a safe setting, and we made our way towards the Hopetown Marina. I've been to this marina a couple of times before over the years. You always know when you're getting close to the Hopetown Marina because there's a great big red and white lighthouse that sits at the entrance to the marina. And once we got inside the marina, the winds calmed down quite a bit, and it was a much safer anchorage. So the plan is to pull in here to Hopetown Bay, and we're going to find a mooring ball that's a little more secure than just dropping anchor. So we're going to hook up to a mooring ball, and we're going to be here for the afternoon and probably tonight as well, as we're expecting some stronger winds again later today. This whole schedule on this trip has been thrown out of whack because of Hurricane Milton in the Gulf, which is stirring up weather way out here past the coast of Florida, out in the Bahamas and the Abacos as well. It's not super strong right now, but it is affecting things and plans over the next couple of days. Already a dive canceled for today, and well, yesterday the dive was canceled. Doesn't look like we're going to get any diving in on this trip, but the plan now is just to work around the weather for the most part. All right, we're leaving the boat finally today for the first time, and we're going into Hopetown. We're going to have a look at the lighthouse in Hopetown. There's a canvas sort of a sail shop there, and a bit of a gift shop. So we're going to go in and have a look around. Rob's got it. I don't know if you can read that or not, but a couple of quick facts. This thing was built in 1863, renovated in 1938, and it is 120 feet above sea level. 101 steps to the lantern room. Marsha's already here. She found a different way in. Everything made out of canvas, or a lot of the products made out of canvas here. You kind of blend right into that chair. Yeah. We're getting wet now. You may have noticed that everybody's a little more dressed up in this clip in the video because we are heading out for dinner tonight. It's Tuesday night. Everybody gets off the boat. We're going over to the Abacos Inn. We're going to catch a cab from shore, take the cab over to the inn just a couple kilometers away and have dinner out there tonight. And while we're away, the guys have a chance to clean up the whole boat, wash it down, and to change all the linen. And then we're back after dinner. Beautiful light.
Watch the Yukon channel, like and subscribe.
I've got some new fans right here in Hopetown. So this is the beautiful Abaco Inn property, and the last time I came in here was not by taxi. We actually parked the catamaran out there, then came in by dinghy, tied up along the wall here, and came in. It's a beautiful property through here. It's relatively new, and it looks like as we drove in here, they're still kind of adding on. Even the boardwalk around here is really nice. And then the inn itself is just up there. And there's a little pool here. But it's a beautiful little spot. I really like this little inn. Look at all the beach area they have here, all the way along that way and all the way back around the other corner. It's all beach, and you come out here and it's the rock and the surf. What a great location for a restaurant. Really does have an in feel to it. Very cozy. That's what it looks like this morning, folks. It's dead calm. It's been an interesting trip. I always knew that booking in the Caribbean in the September, October, November, that sort of time of year, you could wind up in a hurricane. And this is the first time for me in about 14, 15 trips with trade winds that I've wound up in this situation, but that's what we've got. And it'll be interesting to see how bad it does get tomorrow. If at all. It may not be that bad, but they're not taking any chances. So we'll be back in Marsh Harbor in just a little bit, and we'll depart the boat.
So we left the boat 3 days early. Trade winds decided they were going to move their boats further south and get out of the approaching Hurricane Milton. But as it turned out, the hurricane as it went by us was classified as a Category 1. And it wasn't really all that bad, but they just erred on the side of caution.
So I think that's going to do it, guys, for this Yukon Bob video. This trade winds trip out into the Abacos out of Marsh Harbor. The trip, as I said, was cut short. We only had 3 days on it because of Hurricane Milton. They were concerned about it being maybe overwhelming out there. In hindsight, as the days have gone by, I think it was maybe a little bit of an overreaction, but of course you always try to err on the side of caution, which is what trade winds did. And we ended up spending only 3 days on the boat, and the last 3 days here in Marsh Harbor, riding out the tail end effects of Hurricane Milton as it's gone by. Winds are strong, but the weather is warm. There is no rain. There is no water surge. It's all going to be fine. It'll die down by tonight and the whole event will have been over. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. A little bit of a trip out into the Caribbean Sea around the Abacos Islands of the Bahamas. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.